In the last lesson, I demonstrated how to create a template class. When I got to the end of the lesson, I pointed out that while the template worked fine for numbers that you're using a stack with, it doesn't work very well with strings, primarily because of the pop where we set a default value to 0. Well, if we were pushing strings or popping strings off a stack, setting the default value to 0 would be incorrect, since the default value for a string is the empty string. So what we can do to remedy that situation is create what's called a template specialization. And the way we do that is we begin a new class definition. We write template with an open closed brackets. Then we add in the new definition for class. I'll start it off, followed by the data type that we're going to specialize in, string. Now at this point, what I want to do is copy the old code into this definition, and then we're going to change the parts that need to be changed. So I'll do a Control-C and then a Control-V right here. And then what we need to do is every place where we see a reference to T, we're going to change to string. So right there. Here, it's not a reference to T, but we need to change the data type of the type of value we're pushing onto the stack. And of course, num doesn't really work as a very mnemonic for a string value, so we're going to change that to a more general term, val. So we'll change that to val. Here's another placeholder T we need to change to string. We can use val here for this particular. Using val right there is fine. Here's where we want to change the 0 to empty string. There we go. Peak, we need to change from T to string. And that looks like all of our changes. Let's go back and scan the file real quickly. That looks correct. So let's add some testing code. We'll just comment out the code from previously. And we'll write stack string names. And again, we're going to talk about stacks in more detail in a later lesson, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about the use of stacks, other than we just want to see that our class works correctly. We'll pop a name off the stack, then peek again. And that should be a good test to see if our specialized template works. So we'll click Build and Run. And there are two names. So the program did work correctly. So to review, if for some reason we need to provide a specific type in a class template, we can do so using a template specialization. And all we do is use the keyword template with empty brackets, start the class definition, specify the data type we want to use, and then make sure that in all the places where the data type is needed, that the correct data type is in place. And then everything runs just fine. So that finishes this discussion of template specialization. Now we're going to move to the next lesson where we talk about creating class templates where the members of the class, especially the data members, are of different types.